when you got into Visa and there was a lot more conversations about, do we need this tool? What is that tool? And you're opening the box on some of that stuff. Like, did you have to level up your customer data literacy a little bit and get into some of those conversations?
Yes, definitely. I was lucky enough to have a chief data privacy officer at Currency Cloud
Nice.
who was taking us through this acquisition. And again, the Currency Cloud was headquartered in the UK. So GDPR came out. And again, I think they usually are a lot stricter than we are in the US when it comes to this. So I think we were a lot more prepared than any average US startup would be for some of these conversations. But for me personally, one word of advice, if you are going to be in these shoes, really try to learn what the product does. I think I had of marketing at that time, so I didn't necessarily work in all these tools personally day in and day out. So I knew what they do at the high level, um, deeply enough to my knowledge, but I didn't really always know all the nitty-gritty
Mm-hmm.
of the tools. So right, like when there are conversations happening, does this tool collect customer data or user data, and what kind of data it's collecting and where it's storing, and is it storing in the US or is it storing overseas? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, Insta, the hosting provider, technically probably doesn't collect anything, but I don't know. Maybe it's collecting IPs. So I think my knowledge level of some of these tools was very surface level, as I found out when it comes to the data and privacy and things like this. So I had to very quickly um, upskill and read a lot.
Do you think that that makes like a difference, like, being able to be in marketing with a product or service that you really understand or like that you use as an end user? Or like, does that make a difference? And is that important to you? Or do you feel like, even if the products are like more technical or maybe like you're not the user, like you can still, do justice by the customer? Like, how do you think about that?
Hmm. You see, I come from B2B world, so like I wouldn't be using Currency Cloud necessarily,
Gotcha.
Hmm.
right? And Visa Direct is another embedded payments infrastructure for businesses or merchants. So unless I had a business, successful one, I probably wouldn't use any of those. I probably wouldn't use any of those tools.
Yeah. No, it's just an interesting question that I've just been reflecting on. I used to work at AWS and, it's cloud computing and I wasn't using those tools.
Mm.
And actually, like, and maybe this is unique to me, I actually found it difficult. I found it difficult to get into the mind of the user to try to understand them fully. But we had great things like customer research that really helped out. But
Yeah.
I find my like for example, I find my work now a little bit more meaningful, to be honest, just because like I understand how important it is to help people get jobs, and it's
Mm.
like a little bit more tangible for me. But hey,
Right.
I just wanted to know if it was the
No,
same.
so you feel that personal connection. I know what you
Yeah.
mean. I think if it's probably true for all B2B marketing, there is this perception that you're selling into a company and to some heartless, unknown entity that you're marketing towards. Like because what is a merchant? What is a business? What is a small, medium business like SMB? People say SMB, but what is it exactly? It doesn't really have anything that you could latch onto or introduce any like feelings or things like that. So I think it's super, super important to really understand the ideal customer profile and in terms of like especially personas that you're going after. Who at this business cares about using this product? Is it operations person? Is it a compliance person? Is it a person who's in charge of delivering great products? I think for us, it's probably like a head of product whose job it is to make sure that the product that they create, and again, product, I mean, some sort of payment solutions like P2P remittances or tap to pay and things like this. They're trying to create consumer future that's frictionless, that's easy, that's in their wallet, that gives them freedom and ability to send money to their parents or children overseas without delay, instantly, and things like that, right? So it's important to feel what they feel, almost to kind of like be empathetic enough to their pain points and what the future that they are trying to build. Because in the end of the day, we're sort of like the sidekick behind the hero. The hero is the client who is creating something really, really cool that changes the world, and we're enabling them to get there. And I think if you take that stance, I think the purpose and the mission and your personal contribution to things becomes a lot more meaningful, rather than marketing to like some business there.
Acme Corporation.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's you're right, it's very intangible, and it becomes boring very quickly.